Okay, so this is the seventh lesson. I feel as if I may have improved slightly over the previous weekend, which is good. So today I've got a few things ticked off, including all of the cabin drill, where you describe all the switches and everything inside the cabin and what they do. And the assessor, the teacher, was very happy with what I remembered and how I described everything in the truck. I got ticked off for start, move off, shut down, and hill start, uphill. And I also got quite a lot ticked off today. I found reversing to be very difficult. When I put it in reverse, I found that I wasn't really sure what way to move the steering wheel. So to bring your right hand down, that would put the back of the trailer out to the right, I think, and putting left hand down would swing it in to the left. I just found that I could hold it straight. I could correct it and hold it straight. I actually reversed a fair way, say a truck length and a half. But then I'd sort of get into difficulty and I couldn't correct it. Okay, so next week is the assessment for coupling and uncoupling, so I have to keep on watching that video on the truck driving school website. Today I went to the Blue Mountains, very nice place. It's not a difficult drive. It's a fairly steep hill, but it's over a fair way. The initial start of the Blue Mountains hill is fairly steep, but after that you sort of wind your way up over quite a few miles. Yeah, so if anybody is a tourist, wants to come to Sydney, I recommend going to Blue Mountains. It's a very nice place. It'd be a nice place to live, but very dangerous in summertime if there was to be a fire. That's the major concern around here, being caught out in a fire in summer. The teacher said he would take me on as a B-double driver student, so that's good to know. So I'll go ahead with that. It's costing a fair amount of money, but I'm just hoping that I can get the start I need as a truck driver and eventually drive B-doubles. My teacher actually said that he had an ice road trucker in his at his school. He taught an ice road trucker to drive a truck here in Australia from the USA. No, the ice road is in Canada, must be in Canada, and he taught an ice road trucker. Unfortunately, I can't get out of the habit 100% of accelerating in the corners, so the teacher says, well, you'll turn left here at the next intersection, and I'll change down a gear. And it's just that time that I'm sort of coasting into the corner. I just can't help sort of giving the accelerator just a little bit of a nudge. I've got to get out of that habit and just allow the truck just to come into the corner and change down slowly, and just very, very slowly coming into the corners with no acceleration. At the start of the lesson, when the teacher asked me, "Are you ready to drive?" I did everything right, except for to check for loose objects in the cab. When I was asked to start the engine, I turned the ignition on, but I didn't wait for the warning lights to go out. So that's another thing I did wrong at the start of the lesson. Teacher made the observation that I'm a little bit unusual in the fact that I can do very difficult things like drive the truck, go around corners, use the gearbox and all the rest of it. But some of the more simpler things I can't. I'm not as fluent with, like just simple maybe indication or accelerating into the corner, and things like that. He said I'm only sort of able at this stage to sort of concentrate on the one main thing, to concentrate on one thing instead of all the things associated with driving a truck. Gearbox, indicating out of roundabouts and that type of thing. I'll just go through a few notes that I wrote down last week and the week before. The previous video I said was the 7th lesson. I'd like to correct that and just say that this is now the 7th lesson, and the previous video was the 6th lesson. From the perspective of a non-truck driver, when I get in a truck and I get it in 7th gear, I can feel that I think that I'm in a vehicle purpose-built for long distance. It really is. Well, it's magic. It feels really good to drive one of those big trucks. It seems to be probably the only machine that I feel sort of 100% that I'm going to get from A to B in over a long distance. It was about the 4th or 5th lesson, and the truck driver, the assessor said, just go down this hill, but just be careful of this corner. It's an off-camber corner, and there's always an accident there. And sure enough, I went around the corner, and it was a rainy day, and there was a smashed-up car there, and I don't think he'd seen the car before, and it had spun out of control, hit the rail alongside a train line, hit the railing on the left-hand side up the camber, and had bounced off and was on a fairly wide nature strip. So yeah, people tend to, non-experienced people tend to think that the road's a lot safer than it actually is. I may have mentioned this before, but the assessor said that I'm puzzling because I'm good with the things he thought I'd be bad in, and bad in the things that he thought I'd be good in. Another thing that happened was, this was the previous lesson, I think, lesson 6, and I was going along and the assessor was pointing out some sort of the amount of clutch travel that I used, and he was looking down at the clutch and he wasn't looking at the road, and I'm driving along and I see this sort of huge truck appear right across my path, and it had some sort of a huge gas cylinder. This is a tractor trailer, they call it in the USA and Canada, and here a semi-trailer, and it pulled clean out in front of me, and so I put the brakes on, and he sort of went out and back into his lane. But yeah, that was a dangerous goods truck. This guy, he needs to be told to be real careful when driving a dangerous goods truck. Yeah, once again, trucks are magic out in the open road. If you've got the skill to get a job, and I've been trying, it took me a year and a half to get my first job, and I haven't been able to get another job or move up to driving bigger trucks than a 10.5 ton heavy rigid. So getting back to the time of being a truck driver and trying to get into driving large trucks, as I've said, 1.5 years to get my first job, and 5.5 years so far in my current job. So that's 5.5, 1.5, 7 years I've been trying. I have had a lot of obstacles in my way, but all said and done, I think I'm taking the right steps to further my career. One last thing, the driver wants me to drive with my own instinct next weekend. He says that I can drive the truck, and a lot of the times when I went to do something out of instinct, it was correct. It's just that I didn't do it thinking it may be wrong. But he said I should drive with my own instinct, and I can definitely drive the truck, and that's what I'll be doing next weekend.